Hello and welcome to Current Affairs on JTV, the global Jewish channel.
Tomorrow evening it will be my pleasure and my honour to host an event in Parliament where our friends from Hezbollah will be speaking. I'd also invited friends from Hamas to come and speak as well.
Let's remember, when Hitler won his election in 1932, his policy then was that Jews should be moved to Israel. He was supporting Zionism. I'm not interested in the history of the 1930s. I don't think it has any direct...
Then why make pronouncements on it?
I'm
not interested, why make... But you didn't know the facts. You've admitted you're not in command of the facts. No. Viewers will know that recently the Labour Party concluded an inquiry into anti-Semitism and other forms of racism, which was regarded by some as a bit of a whitewash. Well, today I've been able to catch up with the author and lead inquirer in the report, Shami Chakrabarti, human rights lawyer, former director of Liberty. Let's see what she has to say. Don't you think that Jeremy Corbyn embodies the problem? If you were offered a place in the House of Lords, would you take it?
Goodness me, what?
That's a general question.
I don't know.
Have you been offered a place?
I don't know whether I want to talk about my future ambitions at this point.
But have you been offered a place in the House of Lords?
You can ask the question, and I'm going to evade it at this point.
Okay. You've seen this video we're going to show you now. I'd like your comments on it, though, if you can play the video.
I'm sorry about that. You saw what happened? Yeah, I did. I sent you a text about it. I outed Smith, bloody talking to the Tory graft.
Doesn't look like the leader's too unhappy by what happened.
Well, maybe you'll have to invite the leader to sit in this chair, but what...
You can see that doesn't look good. Don't you think that Jeremy Corbyn embodies the problem? He's a shouty demonstrator, an activist, someone who's marched for years on those very rallies you've just spoken about. Sloppy discourse, we've had plenty of examples of that. We'll come on to that in a moment. Not a genuine anti-Semite, perhaps, but those two issues, he has been part of that for all your lifetime.
Well, Why
have you not looked into his record as part of this?
I did interview him. I did interview the leader of the Labour Party as part of my inquiry.
What did you ask him?
I asked him the questions that now everyone has heard the answers to, because they were subsequently asked again by the Home Affairs Select Committee. So I asked him about why he had described certain people as his friends and why he had, if you like, shared a platform and greeted members of certain groups as his friends. And he gave me the answer that he subsequently gave.
You satisfied with those answers?
I believe his answers to be genuine. I believe that
they may be genuine, but are you satisfied that they fall within the parameters of what you just told me?
So what do you mean?
Sloppy language, shouting.
Well, he said himself to the Home Affairs Select Committee that he regretted having called certain people his friends and he wouldn't do it again. His answer is that he was using inclusive language in order to have some difficult conversations in the spirit of peace broking, and he's done it in the context of Northern Ireland, and he was doing it in the context of Israel and Palestine.
As we well know, in Northern Ireland, people weren't genocidal in their intent. If you look at the Hamas Charter, is the Hamas Charter anti-Semitic?
Absolutely.
Okay, so there's a big difference in being inclusive with open anti-Semites versus even terrorists in that regard.
The leader of the Labour Party went to the Home Affairs Select Committee and gave evidence that was akin to the evidence he gave to me, which is that he would not call these people his friends today. He regretted having used that language. It was an attempt to be inclusive at the time in the context of a difficult meeting.
Why didn't you include that in your report?
Because
you know how central that is to all of this.
I didn't do it in my report because I was staying off individuals, and I was not adjudicating. He's not just an individual, he's the leader of the Labour Party. I was not adjudicating on Mr. Corbyn or his leadership or any other individual within the party. I felt that it was for him to make those statements publicly for other people to in the end, in democratic politics, including in the context of leaders of parties, other people will judge. I'm not the adjudicator on who is or isn't the leader of the Labour Party, let alone on disciplinary matters.
But you can see the problem with your inquiry then, can't you? It's not just an ordinary Labour Party member. The leader of the party has legitimate questions asked about him, which he has to then apologise for. That surely has to infuse your whole inquiry as well.
Well, I feel that I dealt with the broad issues, and
You said debate and discourse a moment before.
Yeah.
Do you think the kind of debate and discourse that happened at the launch of your report was acceptable?
Of course not.
Right. So why didn't you stop it? Why didn't you mention it at least? Or why did Jeremy Corbyn not say anything?
I did, Teresa.
You've seen this video we're going to show you now. I'd like your comments on it though, if you can play the video.
I'm sorry about that. You saw what happened? Yeah, I did. I sent you a text about it. Why are you pushing me? No, don't. It's all right. I'm just trying to get out of a bit of a hurry. Sorry about that. Look, I outed Smith, bloody talking to the Tory graft.
Doesn't look like the leader's too unhappy by what happened.
Well, maybe you'll have to invite the leader to sit in this chair, but what...
You can see that doesn't look good.
Well,
he's the leader of the Labour Party. People see his record. They see what he says. They see what he does. It's clearly no surprise that there's been an upsurge in incidents during his leadership, because you can't have the leader saying, these are my friends, genocidal anti-Semites,
he has,
and then ordinary members thinking, oh, it's not, it's okay for us as well. The leader has given us the green light.
But the leader has spoken about it. It's not for me. It's for Labour members to.
But you are a Labour member as well.
Yeah. So but I'm just one in the context of this.
But you were chairing this inquiry.
Let me know when you want me to respond.
Go for it.
So he asked me to do this inquiry. He didn't interfere with the inquiry. He saw my report the night before it was published, and didn't attempt to change a word.
How can someone who had to apologise for calling Hamas his friends, who had to apologise for the Raid Salah incident, who had to apologise for Stephen Sizer, how can someone who, even in 2015, Jeremy Corbyn writes a letter to Stephen
You're interviewing me as if I'm Jeremy Corbyn,
Sizer.
and I'm not. I'm neither Jeremy Corbyn.
You're not, but you were passing him notes during the Home Affairs Select Committee. You've just produced a report which hasn't mentioned him, and you've given me your reasons why.
I was not adjudicating on any individual, and it wasn't my place to adjudicate on any... You can ask me whatever you like.
Do you think he was wrong to have done those things?
I think he was right to express regret, and I believed that it was sincere. He has said that he wouldn't use that language today, and I think that he understands the concern and the hurt and the fear and the vulnerability that stance and that statement has caused in the Jewish community, including members of his own party and his own constituency in the Labour Party, who were upset by the suggestion that he would call certain people his friends. And I believed his regret, and I believe that people who identify with him and follow his leadership and flock to his leadership, I believe and hope that they will listen and they will take his lead, and it will be better coming from him than it could be from you or me, because they are people who voted for him and see him as their leader.
So it was right he expressed regret. Was he wrong to have done it in the first place?
Well, I suspect that when people express regret, it's for things that they shouldn't have done in the first place. So I'm not dancing around this. Yes, he shouldn't have done it in the first place. I don't think.
Do you have political ambitions in the Labour Party?
Do I have political ambitions in the Labour Party?
Do you want to run as an MP?
I don't know. Probably not, but I don't know.
Okay. If you were offered a place in the House of Lords, would you take it?
Goodness me, what?
That's a general question.
I don't know.
Have you been offered a place?
I don't know whether I want to talk about my future ambitions at this point.
But have you been offered a place in the House of Lords?
You can ask the question and I'm going to evade it at this point.
Okay.